In any congenital condition, but most importantly, any congenital emphysematous lung, it can be addressed using thoracic incision. Any trauma where you need to address a lung laceration, or in case of multiple rib fractures, in case of any inflammatory condition like bronchic stasis, in any neoplastic, let it be a benign or malignant, in LVRS, that is lung volume reduction surgery, which is mainly done in case of an emphysematous lung in adults, and in case of a transplantation. So these are the various indications where we use a thoracic incision to address these conditions. The types of resection. There are multiple types of lung resection we know, of which these are the most important types of lung resection, and all the types of lung resection falls under these categories. So first is bullectomy, where in case of a very simple bulle, where removing only the bulle is called bullectomy, which can be addressed using this thoracic incision. Next is wedge resection. If at all you need to remove only a part, only a wedge of the lung, you can remove it using a thoracic incision. Next is segmentectomy. If at all a lesion is confined to any single segment, that is any bronchopulmonary segment, you can remove it using segmentectomy using thoracic incision. And next is lobectomy. If at all you want to remove a part of a lobe, and if you have to remove more than one lobe, that is bilobectomy. And pneumonectomy, if at all you want to remove one complete lung on one side. And extended resection. Extended resection is in addition to removing one complete lobe, we have an extension resection up to the carina. So this is the first surgery, that is bullectomy, where on the left hand side you can see the gross appearance of a bulle after resection, and on the right hand side you can see a bulle which is being inflated with air to demonstrate size. So this bulle, which is a very simple benign condition, can be addressed using a thoracic incision. Next is a wedge resection, where you can see only a wedge part of the lung can be removed using a thoracic incision. Next is a segmentectomy. If at all you want to remove a part of a segment, that is only a bronchopulmonary segment, it can be done through the thoracic incision. Next, a lobe. In this case, you can see right upper lobe alone is being removed, which can be addressed using a thoracic incision. And next is a pneumonectomy, where the entire right lung is being removed using a thoracic incision. Next, we move on to the patient position. Why patient positioning is very important in case of a thoracic incision? Because depending on the type of thoracic incision, we have to position the patient in such a way that we are able to address that particular part of the thoracotomy. So basically, thoracic position in case of any thoracic surgery, you can divide it into either it can be supine or it can be lateral decubitus. Of these two positions, lateral decubitus is the most commonly used position. To better describe the position of the patient, a surgeon used the degree of rotation, and based on that, you can classify as one as supine position, where the patient is at an angle of 0 degrees, and next is a semi-supine position, where the patient is at the angle of 45 degrees. Next is a lateral decubitus position being 90 degrees, and next is prone position being 180 degrees. So first position is your 0 degrees, that is a supine position, where you can see the patient lying flat and supine. So what is the use of this position? So anywhere where if at all you want to plan a mediastinoscopy, you are planning for a trans-cervical approaches, for example, in case of Pancoast tumor, any anterior thoracotomies and sternotomies. So these procedures, it can be addressed using a supine position. And last but not the least, it's clamshell incision, which is rarely being used. It is nothing but it is a bilateral thoracotomy along with a sternotomy, which I will explain in the upcoming slides.